Have you ever felt paralyzed by the thought of starting a task that you know is important? Whether it's a job, function, it's schoolwork, has something to do with your entrepreneurial goals. You know that you have to start. But for some reason, it's causing a tremendous amount of anxiety for you. I understand completely, and today's video is going to be discussing this and how you can get out of it, how you can break the stuck cycle, how you can push that anxiety to the side so you can finish and start what you need to do. My name is Imani, and I'm the founder of Procrastinators Ignite, and I help individuals just like you who struggle with procrastination and self doubt build unshakable confidence so that you can stop waiting and start winning. Let me be transparent. I have so many items on my task list. And I think sometimes when you have so many items on your task list, it causes paralyzing feelings because it's like, where do I start and how am I going to complete this list, especially if there's a time frame? I'm building a community. I have to get that going. I have to research. I have to go on Canva and create logos for it and pictures and copyright and all of those things. And it's like, where do I even start? How can I progress to get to where I need to be by a certain time frame? The pressure of finishing that task list starts building up an anxiety within because you want to achieve a certain goal by a certain time frame. But I'm here to tell you that sometimes we put too much on our shoulders, more than we can handle. And we really do need to break it down into small pieces. There's something about mentally having this idea that everything has to be completed when you want it completed. There's something mentally that causes us to stay stuck. The best thing to do when you know you have a large list to tackle is to break it down in realistic, smaller chunks. So, for example, for myself, I'm starting a community. I need to open the community. I'd like to open it by December 1st. But I also have videos that I have to tape for both of my YouTube channels. And then I have to market on TikTok and Instagram. There's a lot going on there. Anyone would feel overwhelmed. So, how would I break that down? Personally, by day. I know that I will not be able to complete all of those tasks in one day. Thinking that I can do so is going to cause me to stay in my bed. It's paralyzing. So, what do you say? Okay, well, Tuesday, I'll do the TikToks and the Instagrams. Wednesday, I'll video for YouTube for both channels. Thursday, I will set up everything that needs to be set up for the community. Do you see how you have to tackle that? Because if you say, I'm going to try to do all of this in one day, you're going to be up all day and night, or you may just not start. There's a big anxiety that comes with knowing you have a lot to do. And this is why it's so important to start doing little things each day rather than waiting until the last minute to complete the tasks you need to complete. If you're working on a homework assignment or a paper and you received it on your syllabus when you started school in September or August, depending on when you started school, and it was due by December before, finals, why are you waiting until the last minute? How would you break that down? You would break it down with an outline. And on that outline, it would be numbered by each step that you need to take to finish the paper or the project. You would take the first step, work on that, give it a few days, or however you feel you could do it in an efficient time frame. Complete that. Then go to the second step, work on that, give it a certain time frame, complete that, and then go to the next step, and so on and so on. You're tackling a little bit at a time. If you do it the way you have in mind to do it, it's going to cause anxiety. If you wait until the last minute, it's going to cause anxiety, because now you not only have the anxiety of, am I going to finish in time? You have the anxiety of, is this going to be my best effort? Now, some people work great under pressure. And if that is you and you know that, then that's fine. But I bet you can probably succeed even more if you had time to review what you were putting out. And the best way to have time to review what you were putting out is to not wait until the last minute. Don't be paralyzed by your choices. Don't cause yourself anxiety because you wanted to wait until the last minute to do something, or because you wanted to try to do too much at a time. You are human, and realistically, you can only do so much. Yes, we all have this superhuman, I know I can do it type attitude, and that's great, but don't put yourself in a crunch mode box. What are some of the things that you can do to help you remove the anxiety that you have, the paralyzed feelings that you have? Let's go over it again. Break your task down into small steps. Remember, a little bit at a time equals progress. Progress does not have to be perfection. There is no one on this earth that is perfect. So that means that most things will not be perfect. What we're striving for is being the best we can be, not being perfect. So break things down into small steps. 2, do not wait until the last minute to attempt your task. Work on it a little bit each day. You want a balanced life. Set out a time frame, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, or night, and work on it. You can take all 3 times of the day to work on it a little bit at each time. You don't have to say I'm doing 2 hours in the morning. You can say I'm doing 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, 30 minutes at night, or however time you feel you need. But just do not overwhelm yourself with trying to get everything done in one day or one sitting. And 3, give yourself a little grace. You're not perfect. No one expects you to be. And if they do, remember that is a them problem. I want you to always remember in this life, you are in control of you. The outside noise, put a deaf ear to it. I heard this wonderful story today about the 3 frogs. And there were 3 frogs that were stuck in a hole. and there was this light up at the top of the hole shining for them to hop out of. But there was a lot of noise coming from that hole saying, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. And so the first frog tried and said, you know what, I can't, and died out. The second frog, they're yelling down at the last two, you're not going to be able to jump out of this hole. You're going to be stuck in there forever. Second frog tried, said, you know what, you're right. I can't do this, and died out. The last frog, they're still up there. Oh, you see your two friends? They weren't able to do it. You might as well give up too. You don't have what it takes. You can't do this. That third frog jumped and leaped and jumped and leaped, and they kept yelling and yelling and yelling at that third frog. And the third frog finally jumped out of that hole into that light. And they said, how did you do it? How were you able to get past all the noise, all the negativity? Come to find out, the third frog was deaf. Sometimes you have to put a deaf ear to all the noise. But the biggest deaf ear you need to put is to yourself, telling you you can't do it, because you can. You are always good enough. You are always worthy enough. So let's not let procrastination paralyze us. Let's not let it cause anxiety in us. You got this. And remember, you are obligated to be you and share you with the world. If you need my assistance, you can contact me. The information is in the description. You can also download my Procrastination Breakthrough Workbook. It's free. And when my community is up, you can join that as well. Until the next video, take care.